adding two matrices. A matrix is one. Two matrices are called matrices, like radius, radii. So if we're adding them, they have to be equal. They have to be the same order. You know, the same. This is a 2 by 3. This has to be 2 by 3. Because what it does is it kind of like layers them like this and says, add this one to this. You end up with a 1. Add this one to this, a 1. This one to this, a 1. See it? This guy to this guy, a 0. This one to this one, 4. And last, 4. And that's your resulting matrix. Now, in your calculator, it's kind of cool. And I'm going to have you do this. Go to your matrix and put 1 in A here. And then go back and put it in B. So you're going to get 2 matrices, 1 in A and 1 in B. I'll pull up my calculator. It'll just probably take a little while.
So, put 1 in, then second quit.
Second quit, then go down. When you go to edit, slide down to B and hit enter.
Oh.
Hit enter on B. You don't want to replace the same one. You want to put it in a different one. Isn't it A and B? Hopefully this will come up, and then we'll take a look at how you're going to do it. Where's my...
Can you do math? I mean, yeah.
Nope. We're going to add your matrices. So you're going to do your matrix, guys. You're going to enter, what did we say, 2 by 3. You're going to enter your matrix. Okay, second quit. You're going to do this again. Second matrix. Now, when you go over to edit, you're going to come down to B. You don't want to put it right over the one you did. So now, 2 by 3. It has to be in the same order. So 1, 0, 3, -1, 2, 1. Okay, second quit. Now, to do the add, you do it exactly like we wrote it. You're going to say second matrix, click on the A, plus second matrix, go down to the B, click on the B. It's telling it to add matrix A to matrix B. You hit enter. There's your matrix. Oh, I'm very off. I think I missed the negative sign. I think I missed my negative sign here. Second matrix. So let me check. I think I missed my A. Sometimes I missed my negative sign. Sometimes my calculator has a lag here. Okay, now watch. All I have to do is second enter and pull the statement back down. Whoop. Still off. Okay, so you guys get the drift, right? Okay. Good thing I wasn't doing this one right here. Okay. So does everybody see how to do this? Yes, you do. Now, I could also take this and subtract. I'm going to pull this down, and I'm going to put a subtract sign in here. You could subtract your 2 matrices. Okay? You could also multiply your 2 matrices. Whatever operation you want to do comes out right in the middle there. And you can multiply them. But the multiply didn't work. Because the multiply has a separate order. So the adds and the subtracts have to be in the same order. The multiplies, a little different. And I don't know, let me see if I can divide. Sometimes, not all the time. Ah, this gave me something bad. Anybody figure out why the divides aren't working? Not the negatives. Divide by 0. It can't divide by 0. So the thing is, if your matrix didn't have any divide by zeros, it would go through. But you still need a certain order. We don't do any divides on your matrices. Your addition ones, the orders have to be equal. Okay? And then you can add. So what happens when the order is not equal, such as these? You can't do anything. We say this is undefined. It's kind of like a dividing by 0. Excuse me. It's undefined. We cannot do this. There's no way to match up the cars. There's no corresponding entries here. Okay? So to add and subtract, the orders have to be the same. Now, scalar multiplication. Scalar multiplication means you're just multiplying, ladies, by a number. I just want to multiply matrix A by 3, which means I want to multiply every single entry by 3. So if I multiply by 3, I get 6, 6, 12. You with me? I'm multiplying every entry. -9, 0, -3, 6, 3, 6. Scalar multiplication just says multiply every entry by that number and give me a new matrix. Now my new matrix will be in the exact same order as my original matrix because I'm not changing anything. Okay, so let's go put this matrix in A. Let's put this one in B. Let's first multiply 3A and see if we get this. Then we'll do 3A minus B. Right in your calculator. Normally this is what this would do. It would then, look up here 1 second if you will. It will then take this and subtract B. So 6 minus 2, 4. 6 minus 0, 6. 12 minus 0. You with me? Corresponding entries. -9 minus 1, -10. 0 minus a -4, +4. -3 minus 3, -6. 6 minus a -1, 7. 3 minus 3, 0, and 6 minus 2, 4. So let's see if we end up with this corresponding one. You guys put it in. Put it in your matrix A. Then just do 3, matrix A, and see if you get that one. Then we're going to do 3A minus B. Your matrix has to be in the same corresponding thing. It's just like adding and subtracting. Whenever you add and subtract, they have to be corresponding. Obviously, when you multiply by a number, it doesn't matter what your matrix looks like. But if you're going to combine any two matrices, they have to be in the same order. Excuse me. They have to have corresponding entries. So try this. Not hard, just try. So if you ever see this in college, you'll kind of remember this a little bit and will be a little bit more comfortable with dealing with the matrix. Good? Did anybody try it in your matrix?
So you do A times 3.
Yeah, just say 3, then do matrix A, enter. You can do matrix A, 3, but it'll still multiply. And then you're going to do 3A minus B. Okay? Good? Okay. So that's scalar multiplication. Now, I didn't give you this. This we're not going to do. Oh, yes, maybe we are. Okay. We're going to solve for x first. if you take a look at this, this says 3 times x. We don't have an x. So it says solve for x. So we take this equation and we solve. We subtract matrix A. And again, subtract is the same as your subtraction. Anytime you do this, order makes a difference which way you go. So B minus A is different than A minus B. B plus A is the same as A plus B. That's commutative property. So that still works the same with your matrix. Now, divide by 3. So an easier way to write this is 1/3 B minus A. So first of all, because you're subtracting these guys, they have to be in the same order. 2 by 2, 2 by 2. So we can subtract B minus A, and then we can take 1/3 of all those answers. So do it by hand with me first, and then we'll put it in your matrix. So B minus A, from B, find the corresponding entry. What's negative 3 minus 1? What's 4 minus a negative 2? 6. 2 minus 0. 1 minus 3. Okay? Now, we want to take 1/3 of every number. So just divide by 3. Negative 4/3. What's 6 divided by 3? 2. 2 divided by 3. Negative 2 divided by 3. This is the answer you should get. Now, when you first do this, it's going to give you the decimal, negative 0.13, negative 1.33333. You can do math fractions. Enter. And this will bring back your fractions. It's because it's kind of hard. You got repeating decimals in here. So once you get that, put this in, then put this statement out there, and we should get this. Just do math fraction, and it'll bring back your fractions. Try it. Yep. Good math fraction. You're going to have to do this for homework, so make sure you know how to do this. And subtracting, order matters. It's the same in our number system. Order matters which way we subtract. How about translate? Yeah, now watch. Go to math, fraction. See it? So negative 4/3, 2. 2/3, negative 2/3.
So it'll always work like that?
Yeah, because look, it puts it it's a repeating decimal. So you probably are floating to 10 decimal places. You're floating your decimals to 9 places. So it keeps on going until it runs out of room. And so it's going to tell you, scroll over here if you want to see the next one. Just do math fraction and get it back to a fraction. What? Okay. You did B minus A. This won't work. You have to do go math.
No.
Okay?
There's one question. Why did you do this one? Like, why did you do this?
We subtracted B minus A. Because the first thing we had to do here was B minus A.
But you
So
don't
we
have
said corresponding entries, negative 3 minus 1, negative 4. 4 minus a negative 2, positive 6.
But you don't have to do that in calculator.
No. I just want to make sure you know by hand and calculator. Okay? Now, the next step is a little bit different. As we could see before, it wouldn't do my multiply, and we can't do a divide. But my multiply has a little bit of a different order. Now, here's how you work your multiply. Guys, this is very important. First thing you have to do is check the order to see if you can multiply. What is the order of this matrix? 3 by 2. What's the order of this matrix? Now watch, you go like this. These two right here have to be the same. If they're the same, you can multiply. If they're not, the two, this guy's second one, this guy's first one. Now, the resulting matrix is this one left right here. You're going to get a 3 by 2. You're going to build a 3 by 2 matrix. We saw before, we were adding, we were subtracting, we couldn't multiply, and we couldn't divide. Divide we don't do anyway. But this has to happen. You write your order down, the middle two have to match, then the left is your resulting matrix. Because you technically take this one, this column here, times, you take this row times this column. You take this row times this column. Then you do it again for the next row, the next row. By hand, this is a little different. There's no way to multiply this. You have to take -1 times -3, -1 times -4, 3 times -3, 3 times -4. Then you got to go to the next column. I'm not going to do those out by hand because we're going to do them in your calculator, but I just want you to know the multiply is different than add. And you end up with something different. So put this in your A, put this in your B, and then just give me an A times B. And let's see if we end up with a 3 by 2 matrix. If the order doesn't line up for you, it's not going to multiply, just like the other one didn't. It's going to tell us, nope, mismatched. Now a 2 by 2 and a 2 by 2, that will work. That order will work, because the 2's are still lined up together. So try it. I'm not asking you to do it the long way, because this one's a little tougher by hand. It's kind of a cute little pattern when you multiply by hand, but I didn't think that we would need to do it. What happens is, if you go to do this again in college and you have to multiply by hand, you have to figure it out again because it's a little confusing. So as long as you realize that your resulting matrix will be different and what it takes to multiply, I'm good with that.
You have to do by hand in college?
Depends. It depends on your professor. Some of them, they want you to do them by hand. Others say you have a calculator, use your calculator. It depends. I usually find it's like the age of the professor. If it's an older person, everything's by hand. If it's a young person, everything's by calculator or a computer lab, or Excel does a lot of things. You know, they find different ways to do it. But it depends on which course you take, you know, what you take and who's doing it. And how much information they have. If they have a lot of information, they'll take more shortcuts. Okay, did everybody come up with a 3 by 2 matrix? Okay. Now, tell me if you can multiply these. And tell me what your resulting matrix would be. That one up there. Can you multiply these? What's the order of this guy? 2 by 3. Line it up like this. What's the order of this? So do these match? And what's your result? 2 by 3. How about this guy? What's the order of this one? 2 by 2. What's the order of this one? 3 by 3. Do these match? No. This one is undefined. This one we can't do. Oh, I made the last one up, just so that you would see what happens when you can't. Then you just don't do anything. You stop. You can't do anything with it. So, I have a couple here. The first two are good thinking problems for you. Everything gets done in your calculator except the first one. The first one I want you to think about. Think about corresponding parts. Yeah. And before you can do your multiplications and your additions, make sure they're the same or that they go to the multiplication rule. No, this is a 2 by 3. This is a 3 by 3. Your result is going to be a 2 by 3. You put this in for A, you put this in for B, and you just do this. What you get back will be 2 by 3.
Oh, so
it will look like that.
Oh, you had to put like this
Nope.
in the calculator.
Nope, it's going to be in that order when you get it back. It's going to be a